Good afternoon. It's 2:30 p.m. on Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025, and this is the regular meeting of the Sandpoint Sustainability Committee, and it's now called to order in council chambers at City Hall, 1123 West Lake Street, Sandpoint, Idaho. For the record, I'm Committee Chair Christine Moon. Also present are Vice Chair Deborah Dickerson and committee members Mary Wilkos, who may be coming in by Zoom, and Diana Duke. I would like to note that our City Council Liaison Pam Duquette is present, as well as Staff Liaison Katie Keeney and Community Planning and Development Department Administrative Assistant Mandy Brown, serving as Board Clerk. Before we proceed with the business on our agenda, there's an announcement regarding the Idaho Open Meeting Law and the procedure for amending an agenda. I will now yield the floor to Katie.
I'm going to hang on one moment, because I believe this is our new.
Welcome.
Hey, Pam. Thanks. You know, sorry I'm a little bit late. I've never been in this room before, so I don't know.
Sorry, I didn't know. He was walking in as I was walking out. I held the door. I'm like, there you go. I didn't realize where you were going, or I would have.
No worries.
Brought you with me.
Excited to have you. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Make the note that Michaela is here.
Michaela is here and Mary is here as well.
Yeah, everybody's here.
Remotely.
Wow.
So during the August 26, 2025 meeting, there was a motion made and seconded and a vote taken to amend the agenda for that meeting after the meeting was already in our meeting packet. There is a copy of Idaho Code Section 74-204, which is the portion of the Idaho Open Meeting Law that addresses notice of meeting agendas. Section 4 speaks to agendas specifically and provides for when and how a posted meeting agenda may be amended. Paragraph C in particular provides that an agenda may be amended after the start of a meeting, but the motion must state a good faith reason as to why the agenda item was not included in the agenda that was posted. Additionally, no final action may be taken on the added item unless an emergency is declared. Short, the addition of an item to an agenda after the meeting is underway is exceedingly rare and done only in extenuating and urgent circumstances. This is not something the Sustainability Committee will need to do in the future. Going forward during a meeting, if a committee member would like to request to discuss or take action on a particular topic not included on the agenda for that meeting, that request can be made during committee roundtable at the end of the meeting, and the item can be included on a future agenda. In addition to educating ourselves on this portion of state law, this announcement will serve as acknowledgement that the motion and vote to add an item to the agenda during our August meeting did not conform to Idaho law, and to confirm that there was no action taken regarding that item that was added. There's nothing additional the committee needs to do regarding the issue, and any questions will need to be directed to the city clerk, who can then consult with the city attorney. Is everybody clear?
I think so.
Okay, we are to discuss agenda items only, then anything additional is roundtable.
Duly noted. Yes.
I know most you do. Okay, I'm sorry.
You know, you do, and you don't, Katie, Katie. And
Hi, I'm Kate Keeney. I am the staff liaison. Also assistant planner for the city.
It's nice to meet you.
Board clerk, and then I'm the admin assistant for the building and planning department.
What's your name?
Mandy.
Hi. Yes.
Welcome. Now we'll move on to, the meeting minutes approval of the August 26th, 2025 meeting. We need a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second the motion.
Thank you. Before we vote, I had a question about the minutes. I think that's the right protocol, right? Is you make the motion and then you discuss approval of before.
Approval, if not, you'll need to make a motion to amend, so the motion will be valid.
Okay, right. We won't vote on approval, but somebody might need to amend once. So my question was, in the minutes of our August meeting, it says under old unfinished business, committee members postpone their discussion on the comprehensive plan chapters until the next meeting in anticipation of more members in attendance. Oh, no, this isn't this. We can approve this. We just need, well, I guess my question is, it didn't appear on this month's agenda. So what do we do now?
We can save it for another meeting, but we won't touch these minutes. You can just add that item to a future agenda.
Okay,
That makes sense.
and we need to do that, right? We can't just let it.
Yeah, so when you're conversing with Katie about the next meeting, you'll say, I'd like to add this to the agenda.
Okay, great.
And can we discuss it in old business today or
Only agenda items or roundtable.
roundtable? Okay, so maybe we
We
can
could do
discuss
it.
a little bit at roundtable.
If we have
If we
time.
have time,
If we have time, yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot.
the agenda today.
All right, so what I just brought up doesn't pertain to the minutes. They are, in my mind, okay. So all in favor of approval?
Aye.
So approved. Now we move on to committee business. And we are expecting Eric Bush to come talk to us, but he's not here yet. So do we need to do something about that item?
You're not invited. I don't think he's here today. Tried to reach out to him several times. But he's the one who reached out asking to come here too. So
Sounds. So we postpone nominating a member to the revitalization, or can we accept anyone who wants to volunteer? I guess we probably need to hear what's going to be.
Yeah.
Give me a second, I just messaged Melissa to ask her. If I wasn't anticipating this, I asked her a couple other questions about the agenda items. Like what to do if like the rescheduling part. I said, what do we do if we can't get an answer on those? And that's why I have the answers, but I didn't anticipate Eric not being here. So I'm
Is it okay if we move on? And come back to this once we know?
I think so. That was kind of why we did it. the Way that we did, so it's not like. Old business, new business, it's just business in general. Let me. Just, we might have to take a 5-minute recess. And we could talk about this.
Okay, 5-minute recess.
Okay, so she said,
Oh.
ask the committee to go ahead and select someone. They feel comfortable doing so based on the explanation in the email that he sent. So to the agenda packet,
I can read the email.
She said it's a time sensitive issue, so she's going to see if she can find him, unless we've already done that. You guys all had a chance to look over what was sent in the agenda packet to know what we're discussing right now?
I think it would be helpful to read it. It's
Yeah.
pretty
I
short.
have it up here.
Thank you.
It says all, as part of the downtown revitalization phase 3 project that will soon be in the design phase, we intend to form an advisory group to provide and disseminate information about the project. We're hoping to have a member from each citizen advisory commission/committee. To select a member of each group, we need an agenda action item at each of their next upcoming September meetings in which the respective commission/committee will recommend and vote on a member to be a part of the advisory group. Once members are selected by action item vote, Mayor Grimm will ultimately appoint these individuals to the Downtown Phase 3 Advisory Group. And then below is the schedule of each meeting in September based on our website. Please let me know if these dates are incorrect. I plan to attend each meeting and can give a few-minute explanation on the intention of the advisory group, and then members can vote on their representative to be a member of the group. And then listed below are the groups, and we're being one of them at our Sustainability September 23rd meeting. Please let me know if you have any questions, Eric.
So I guess what we don't know is how, does it say here how often someone would be expected to meet?
That's the entire email, top to bottom. That email. I have no other documents to share. Or at all. Sorry.
Is there a way to handle this before our October meeting?
It has to be voted on. Can't hold a special meeting just to vote.
We don't have to have a special meeting. What I'm wondering is if someone could volunteer once we have more information from him. Like,
But
could
it's
we?
not just a volunteer, somebody volunteers and then you guys vote on it.
It's an action item.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Is anyone willing to volunteer with?
I see what you're saying. It's hard to know what the time commitment is going to be.
I just messaged Melissa. to ask her.
Yeah, if we know the dates.
Yeah,
Dates
that'd
of
be
the
good.
meetings,
Well, the dates might be something decided once it convenes.
Yeah,
even the first date then. Otherwise, I could be volunteering for something I can't make, and then I'm like, well, I can't be there.
Right.
Don't see anything on the website at all to share. Is Holly available? Yeah.
Or is it once everybody volunteers, then they'll set a date?
they would probably set a date once everybody volunteers. I doubt they have anything set right now because our committee's not the only one that is working on getting a volunteer. I think there's two others. There's one later this week and then there's another one next week, I believe, that has to do the same thing we're doing right now. So it'd be my best guess that they don't have a date because that would be very silly to try to set a date without having a discussion with anyone.
Do we have any idea how often? Like, would it be once a month or once a week or?
It'd probably be, I don't see it being more than monthly. Melissa said her recommendation is if somebody wants to volunteer, if it ends up not working out for whoever volunteers, we can always come back next month and select someone else after we have more info. If you volunteer and it's not going to work, you don't have to stay. It's not.
You're
not-
permanent.
Yeah, you're not extremely obligated to do it.
Yeah.
So-
Mary, did you have a question?
I do have a question. So, do we want to, is it possible to have a volunteer and then an alternate?
I mean,
meet again.
No, we won't meet again. We won't meet again until October. Scheduled
Yeah.
meeting.
I'm suggesting that at least as an interim measure, so if we have a volunteer and an alternate volunteer and a meeting happens between now and the next meeting, right, that there is at least some representation. Not,
I don't know that it would,
Oh.
only because of meeting laws and how they have to be noticed for the public and things
Okay.
like that. If it's a new committee, there needs to be a set schedule posted for X amount of time that, hey, this committee is going to meet at this time. Sustainability is just has a revolving calendar. Fourth Tuesday, month, 2:30 PM. Head bike is a certain day of the week. You know what I mean?
okay.
May I ask a question? Will council have to approve Jeremy's appointment? Like we do for the committees?
It doesn't say anything in his email, but obviously his email is back in maybe.
Yeah, I think if you guys just wanted to appoint somebody, we could definitely get you some more information. Then, even if it's next week, you figure out that it's not going to work, then just add it back to the agenda for the October meeting.
And like these meetings, it would be okay to attend remotely.
I'm assuming so.
Anyone?
I'll volunteer. I'll do
Thank
it.
you, Diana.
I'll just throw it up in the air.
Once we know more,
Yeah.
there'll be some
Yeah.
flexibility there, I'm sure. So we need to vote, make a motion that Diana be our,
Diana has been nominated as the Downtown Revitalization Phase 3 committee member, and Diana accepts the nomination, correct?
Yes.
And now you're good to.
all in favor? Aye.
I,
Diana
And-
is our,
Who motioned and who seconded?
oh, the motion has no second.
Oh, I didn't realize you made a motion. I'll second.
Just went off to all in favor. Are we good with it
Yeah.
having already
Yeah.
been done?
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Goodness. Crap. The next item is, the rescheduling of our November and December meetings that are both 2 days before the holidays. And I know me, I can't make the December meeting, so we looked at the schedule and it looks like the week just prior, which I think in each case would be 16th. We don't have staff who can attend because there's a conflict. So we moved it forward same day, same time to, first of all, November 13th, instead of the 25th.
The November 11th is Veterans Day and all of City Hall will be closed.
So it's actually a Thursday. If you look at your,
It's a
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah, you said.
on your script, it should
Just
say
the
Thursday.
whole City Hall.
It
will be-
does say Thursday. Okay.
That's federal.
It's always complicated. So I'm just wondering at this point, can we get a quorum? Do we think we can do it?
Yeah, I should be here.
I can do, I can
I
do this.
will not be able to attend. I'm at a work event from the 11th through the 13th.
Okay, it looks like we have a quorum. So,
Read your script and you guys need to vote on each one individually.
yes.
Okay.
On those dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, so is someone willing to make the motion to move the November meeting to Thursday, November 18th? Thank you. Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. We've moved the meeting. And then similarly for the December meeting, the meeting would remain on a Tuesday, but it would be December 9th, same time, 2:30. Can we get a quorum on December 9th?
I may not attend, I'll be traveling that day.
Well,
If
I
I,
won't be here either, but your interim staff liaison, Rachel, I don't think she said she has any issues.
any conflict?
I can't make.
Be here.
You should be here. You would be here. That's quorum.
That's more.
So let's move it, I guess.
You only need 3.
Those of us,
change to the suggested December date.
say that again.
I will make the motion to change the date to December 9th.
Thank you, Mary.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes and the meeting has been moved to December 9th. Next item on the agenda is a measure to share our contact information so that we will be able to contact each other basically individually. We can't, according to open meeting laws, we can't convene 3 people together or have a conversation among 3 people between meetings. So it would have to be between 2 people. And I was thinking that I found a need before this meeting to contact people and I didn't have their contact information. And so it would be great if we could share that information. And I guess we can have a motion. We have a proposal to share committee member personal email addresses.
Okay,
and
I have a question. My question is, if we do that, doesn't that become part of the public record? I don't want my personal information shared as part of the public record. So I would only be willing to share my committee email address.
No, you're correct, Mary.
Good point.
Hmm.
Does everybody have a committee email address yet?
Not sure.
I just
You
opened it.
just make one.
I just opened a
Oh,
new
great.
Gmail account that says Sandpoint on it, and that's my, you definitely do that.
Yes, very much recommend that you create a Gmail and share it with Mandy. Because like Mary said, all of this is public record and you don't want your private emails being public record.
Right, okay. So with that, we won't be able to share today. What will be the best way to do it? Through staff.
Share. Yeah, I mean, I think most of you guys last year when the committee was started, did many emails to my knowledge for this reason. Don't recommend it 100%. And then it's up to you if you want those emails shared outside of Mandy sending you guys correspondence. So that, say, like, basically, Mary could then email Diana or something like that. You know, if you guys have questions, you just cannot stress it enough. You cannot violate meeting laws, which is 3 or more. More than 3, it is 3 or more. So basically, it's just one-to-one contact. Sorry,
And
Pam,
the chair.
it's everybody. That's why Mandy blind CCs everybody on emails, so that she's the only person that gets responded to. So it's still just one-to-one contact. Does that make sense?
Can I clarify? She can call once at a time and then her.
Yeah,
Once at a time and then her.
yeah,
And you can call everybody only then. You can't,
Right,
can't call the, yeah.
two people at once.
Because that's what I clarified. I thought Jeremy was.
yeah, you can, but it's also that public record thing, if people don't want their private phone numbers shared.
If they have their email, yeah. That's
Yeah, then everybody has to make sure they check their email regularly if it's like a time sensitive.
Should be, but that's also kind of what Mandy's thing is for. I don't know, yeah. If you guys are on the committee, it would be my assumption that you check your committee email at least once a week.
Yeah, or more often. I mean, I feel like if there's some project that somebody is working on and they.
Well, yeah, if you know you're working on a project, but if you don't know you're working on a project,
Should it just be like first name, last name, sustainability committee at gmail.com?
That's what I have. Just did my initial.
somebody's is like,
Simon,
Yeah, mine doesn't, it doesn't have to have your name in it.
yeah,
yeah, true.
There's no reason why it has to have your name in it.
it can be
peanut.
chat whatever you want it to be, as long as it's appropriate.
Okay, thanks for that.
And then one last thing would be when to share them. So we set up, those of us who don't already have a committee email, sends it to Mandy. And then you blind copy us with a list.
Essentially, everybody that's like given the okay to have their email distributed.
Make a list and send it out. So we each have a list of all the committee members.
They could just respond back to my email with their okay and, you know,
You would just essentially put it in a list and
share it.
reshare it with everybody. Again, another blind CC though, so you're not violating open meeting laws.
So many open meetings.
Yeah, that's right. It's, you have to learn it.
Mhm.
Okay, so we need a motion. That we have a proposal to share committee member email addresses. We're calling it personal email addresses, but they're individual and they're for this purpose. We have a motion.
Make a motion that we share our emails.
Second.
You, all in favor?
I'd like to clarify.
Yeah.
We say that the motion is that we share sustainability committee, individual sustainability committee emails.
Yeah.
Not have
Yes.
personal in that motion.
Good.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. And with that, clarification, do we need to vote again?
Just to re-verbalize your motion.
Okay, we have a proposal to share sustainability committee member for that purpose, email addresses.
Second,
With- All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda, we're going to continue our discussion on the sustainability plan. And we had discussed, let me see, I have it's here. So Michaela is the handout that we had. Anybody else who needs a copy? This is just the 4-point. Oh, yeah. This is just the 4-point agenda for the committee that I submitted last meeting, the goals. Oh, the goals. The four goals.
I didn't bring it. I didn't know what that item meant.
Sorry. And goal 1 is to submit a sustainability plan by June 2026. And we are, wanting to proceed with that. And a couple of things that I'd like to, one of the things that we maybe alluded to but didn't thoroughly discuss is that this development of the plan will need to be very consultative. So we're going to need to, particularly in light of this city council and mayor discussions about the committees, we're going to need to have it be quite consultative along the way. Think probably with particularly city council because approval is going to come there. And we want to make sure that we haven't gone off in a direction that is going to waste everybody's time when we bring it up fait accompli. And so to my way of thinking, we need to imagine or devise a plan for how to get to June 1st. This will include not only city council, but also, I think, some other committees, maybe go to other committees and gather information from them. Include the public at a point or points in the plan. So it's a pretty ambitious plan to get to June 1st, not only come up with a viable city plan, but also make sure that it's been well vetted and it's easy to get passed on June 1st. So
Wait, those are two different things. Are you saying we're gonna have a sustainability plan passed by the city council by June 1st, or are we submitting one?
well, we could decide that. I was thinking of submission. What did I say?
Pass? That's what caught my attention. So that's why I'm like,
I meant, I guess, on my goals, I said submit by
okay,
June.
that's what I see here, but I'm just checking in. I'm like.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's all.
Yeah.
Submit,
no problem.
submit by then, and then how that takes place. Maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing, is we submit it and then we go through whatever.
Right, isn't one already?
There is,
No. one
There
is not.
is.
With like zero
Yep.
framework, and I think that's something we could think about is having a greenhouse gas initiative. Just to see what is, like, where our numbers are.
well, we're gonna be discussing research that has been done on what other
Small
comparable.
towns, yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen the whitefish plan.
and there are various forms. So one part of this plan, what timetable could be, categorize these plans and maybe go to city council and say, here are the types of plans that we're conceptualizing. Please give us some guidance on, are we are we going to have a plan, for example, that is quite limited in scope, or is it gonna be a much broader plan? And that would be up to us to try to figure that out and maybe have some informal conversations even before we submit and see kind of where the preferences lie. So any thoughts on that?
I have some thoughts. And my thoughts are that even submitting a plan and not planning for it to be approved by June 26th is going to be very ambitious, given that we meet once a month. And given that I think our most challenging and most important task is the public involvement part and coordination part with the other committees. And if we work backwards from June 6th and plan for, one main meeting each month, that will give us an idea of when we have to actually have, how to plan this out. And what is going to be manageable for us in that time frame. So that's my comment and suggestion that we do that. And then a question regarding our submittal to City Council. Once we submit, would there be a meeting for the public after the submittal prior to the council approving?
That's a good question, and that might be up to city council or up to us in conjunction with city council. They may well really want that.
Yeah.
And I mean, once we submit, there's still going to be work to do. I think we can assume that.
Yeah. I think one of our most important and most urgent tasks is to get some workshop with the public to get their perspective up front of what people would like, not what we want to see, but what our neighbors want to see in the plan, and then let that guide the contents, or at least have that we have some sort of checklist of like, okay, this is what our community wants to see in the plan, and as a scoping meeting.
That needs to be really well organized. Sorry, go ahead, Mary.
Because we can, with AI now, we could draft a plan in a month ourselves.
Right.
A darn good plan. But that's not necessarily a plan that would be our plan. It wouldn't be the community's plan, and not one that would be passed by our council or supported by our community.
Yes, yes. But I think before we would have that meeting, we'll need to have done some homework, maybe even try to figure out, maybe even try to present what other communities have done, or do we think we should just like have people come and say,
No,
no?
no, it's gotta be structured to a
Yeah.
point, or if 30 people show up,
Right.
we'll have 30 different ideas about what individuals want. So for me, meetings like that are more brainstorming, where there's so many different ways to do it. People put their ideas on Post-it notes, and then you can combine them into given pillars or something like that. So at the end of the meeting, you actually have some good definable feedback, rather than just saying, okay, what would you like the sustainability of Sandpoint and to look like? So it just helps to have some structure to that. Anyway,
And before we did that,
what we have to do.
would we all take apart similar to what we did with the comp plan, maybe? Like, so, I did the biking and paths, like, and then maybe I could write a portion based on those, and everybody could take a portion and then kind of present that to people. and then they could give us feedback.
Well, that's different.
Is
Is
that-
just saying we should do a meeting up front. Go ahead.
Polly came to discuss the citizen advisory committee.
Okay.
If you want to just make an announcement. I'm going to put this discussion item on hold for now. Not forever. Just need something formal. You saying. So hold. I'll take the floor for a minute to give you guys some more information on the citizen advisory committee. Stop.
All right, let's temporarily suspend this conversation and go back to our earlier agenda item of learning about the citizens advisory.
Thank you, Holly Ellis, Public Works Director. I apologize that I wasn't here sooner to meet with you all. And I really appreciate your time in discussing this item and potentially supporting it. We are kicking off our downtown revitalization Phase 3 project. This will continue our improvements downtown from Church and First Street as far south as we can make it. We're hoping we can stretch this effort all the way to Superior. We do have some funding restrictions. This is all funded by our SURA, Sandpoint Urban Renewal Agency. So we've got funding for it, which is great, maybe not as much as we'd like. For this project, being that it's in our downtown, there's a lot of community impact. We're engaging an advisory group. The purpose of this group would just help us make sure we're getting buy-in early. We have a very aggressive schedule that we're meeting. So the purpose of touching in with our advisory group is to try to hit all of our groups in the community so that we can kind of move at a more accelerated pace in design. So get buy-in from the community early is one purpose of it. So our approach in building this advisory group is to bring in folks from each committee, one representative from each committee member, so they can be a bit of a liaison back to this group on key updates and efforts. The advisory group is also going to be made up of city staff, our engineering team who's doing the design, downtown businesses, maybe some realtors, so committee members and other community partners. It's also going to help us, in addition to progressing that schedule and getting buy-in early. We're also hoping that it helps with outreach so that we can just get the community engaged on this project. Working in our downtown, we're going to be disrupting a lot of businesses to improve the pedestrian access right adjacent to their front doors, bicycle access. We have a lot of challenges. We're trying to figure out how to get better connectivity for bikealists. Because downtown is kind of a gateway to our city beach too. It's a destination and a gateway. And traffic calming, undergrounding utilities, lighting. The commitment we're looking for the advisory group is 5 formal meetings, 5 touch bases between now and August. So we're engaging an engineer. Our schedule is a little bit fuzzy. But it would be defined. What we're looking at is engaging this group in the next month, having a kickoff meeting, touching base. A second meeting would look at the basis of design. Third meeting would look at the preliminary design. Fourth meeting would be final recommendations from the advisory group. And then the 5th meeting would be a pre-construction meeting before we actually have a contractor out there on site.
Is there a budget for this phase?
We have SURA funding, a very rough number, about $3 million.
Would you go through that? Slide again, I got the first one.
Yes, the 5 meetings.
Yeah.
Now, this is all subject to change, but preliminary, this is what we're looking at. A kickoff meeting, a basis of design. That's kind of a report that would inform, instead of engineers putting something on a graphic, it's a text report to make sure we're all on the same page early. Preliminary design. That's a early set of plans. Final design recommendations. And the 5th and final is the pre-construction, right before the builders are out. Eric Bush will be the project manager for the project, so he'll be the primary point of contact for staff. This is a public works project, so I'll be involved. It's hitting a lot of different departments, so we'll have Jason Welker, our community development director, involved, as well as Bill Dean, our city planner. So our mayor very involved as well. So kind of all hands on deck for this big lift for our small community.
But we don't know when the first meeting is going to be. How are they going to determine that?
So a little more on schedule. We put out an RFQ to engage our engineer. Our engineer is really going to be the person who's running the schedule. They'll be designing the project, and we'll set those milestones. Those check-in points will be based on their ability to provide the engineering design. So we have an RFQ right now that's out. In the next week, we'll be making an official or starting our official negotiations. So I'm targeting mid-October for that first meeting, but there's not a date yet. And it would be following council award. This is going to go to council to award the contract for this project on October 15th. That's the third meeting in October. And when that goes to council award, we'll have a better schedule of the entire project. And this is, of course, all contingent on council or design.
So Diana stepped
Okay,
up.
great.
She's our.
Great.
our
Yeah,
person.
it's already been voted on too. So, yep.
Thank you. Again, I apologize for not giving you those details earlier, but hopefully these were all things you heard.
Mary has a question on Zoom.
Yeah, I have one quick question. You mentioned that there would be some realtors involved. Can you explain the rationale for that?
I probably misspoke. So we don't have all the representatives yet. Someone from the development world would have been a better word. Trying to target all the partners. So we're going to try to get someone from each committee member, trying to get someone from like a trucking delivery or maybe a boating, someone who has to drive big equipment downtown. And then someone who's on the economic development front, maybe it's a business owner or a developer, just to get an idea from their perspective what improvements are essential for downtown core for the economic vitality. So a realtor is not the right developer. Is a
Thank
better-
you. That's helpful. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm good.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks for coming.
I'm good. Yeah, thank
Great.
you.
Thank you, Molly.
It's exciting until construction starts and all the complaints roll in. We've been through this times before.
Okay, back to,
Yeah.
item 7.
Yep.
So I'm wondering, like, next steps here, and I wonder, I had thought about asking for volunteers to conceive of a plan to present for us in our October meeting, a timetable that would, with steps, for us to discuss, to start our discussion. And I wonder if anyone would be willing to just put that out there for us to discuss.
Mary, before we were interrupted, you had some ideas that you were speaking to about a schedule. You want to take a step?
Yeah, I mean, planning any sort of public workshop or event that's a big deal. To do it right, and there's rules that we'll have to follow, of course.
Right.
And also we're going into the holidays. So the earliest time that we could do that, and I do believe it's an upfront task. I work in NEPA planning, and scoping is always like the first thing you do, right? So January is probably the soonest we could do that. So from a scheduling standpoint, we could figure out, counting backwards from June, okay, what are the steps we need to do between that January meeting and submittal date, right? And then between now and January, what are the steps we need to do to plan the meeting? I think that would help from an organization standpoint. Again, I think drafting a plan ourselves would be really pretty straightforward to do. But it's getting the public community buy-in and ideas.
Do you think it will be valuable to see like where we are? Like what the numbers look like now, so that we can like talk about, okay, for sustainability, like this is a percentage that we can lessen. Sustain. I just think that would be valuable information for us to have, especially if we don't have anything. If we're just like at bare bones zero, like it, I don't know, I think it can be hard to say like, yes, here's our plan, if we don't know where we're starting.
Yeah, well, I think part of one thing that we're going to find out in the public involvement is that we all have different ideas for what sustainability is.
Yeah, absolutely.
In our community. And I think getting that baseline information from staff of what's available is going to be part of the process. And, you know, there's really sophisticated sustainability plans out there. I don't think our town is at that place. So what we submit in June might be a framework plan. Right, and gathering baseline data might be a step in that framework plan. That's just
Yes.
that's my 2 cents around that.
We have also been told by the mayor and by Jason Welker that there's basically zero funding.
Right.
So we're working with, under that constraint. So we can't have a budget for doing some baseline unless, you know, we're willing to do it ourselves. So that, and I mean, we've been told that it's, you know, that is the situation now, but and there may be something different in the future, but there's no like date in the future where this funding would be guaranteed to do it.
So what I'm hearing you saying that is that if we want, the city can't give us any baseline numbers because that would be utilized staff time to find those numbers.
Oh,
So, yeah, see, you got it. I worked in the public sector. It tweaks your listening a bit. Yeah, so it sounds, so Mary, I'm continuing to back up, right? Like that we're actually doing that process now. So it sounds to me like we need to figure out what the key areas that we'd want to maybe gather some numbers for. And then each committee member could then maybe go out and gather those numbers. We're not going to cover a plan, you know, like just to be realistic about that. So I think part of it is us determining what do we think those key areas are. We may get more information from the town or the city, you know, I mean, people are going to provide feedback and we're going to give them that opportunity. But I think to start, like you said, Mikhail, like we have to, you know, and that's always the hardest, that's always the hardest thing to figure out. How do you start? Where do you start? What do you start? Right. And so, and that's what this committee's been struggling with for a whole year.
The scope has been our
Yeah,
struggle.
yeah. So what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say for that, like water quality, I'd volunteer to do,
Okay,
to find
water
out, baseline
That
information,
thing down
maybe from, I know it's not the water keepers anymore.
Right.
What's the new group that?
It's ICL does, it's.
ICL does it,
Yeah, okay. So I'd be willing to try and gather some data. I don't
I can help you.
Okay,
When we
great.
did this for like the resiliency planning, we like sent out a survey, and so community members like answered questions on a survey, and that like essentially narrowed us down to like top 6 hazards that we wanted to like focus on building resilience for. So we started like with that. Cause yeah, it's unrealistic to be like, we're gonna cover everything.
Yeah.
In one
yeah,
plan.
right.
But we like used public feedback to narrow it down to those 6 things. So that was the helpful start.
Which is also why you're looking at other plans.
Right.
Right.
And maybe,
So maybe we'll go to the reports from the 2 people who have looked at those other plans and come back, maybe in roundtable, to how to proceed from here. Are we still on track for?
and also we had from Mayor Grimm, didn't you kind of rattled off
They
energy and.
are on this handout.
Oh, good.
They're on the bottom of the handout, the ones that he considers to be
Yeah,
priorities. So I guess let's move on to item 8, talking about. Now, there was, I think this is my fault. We have 2 reports, one by Mary and one by Deborah on other cities' plans, and you have those in the packet. And that's great because you each came from a little bit of a different perspective, and I think it's super helpful. So maybe Mary, if you could summarize what you found.
Okay. Well, okay, so what I did is I actually did a query, and to identify what other cities, similar to us in size. Okay, so it was 25,000 was my limit. And in the Northwest, and I also included, in that query, I included Montana, Idaho, Utah. So Utah's not really Northwest, but I brought it in anyway. Oregon and Washington. What other cities had sustainability plans and what the status of those plans are. And that's the result that you see there. I didn't go into looking at all those individual plans. I didn't realize I was supposed to do that. I was presenting the information right now. But that's what's out there, the universe. And those, and specifically focusing on approved plans too. Okay, so yeah, that's because I didn't want to, again, getting back to the public involvement part. I think it's really important that we each have our own individual ideas of what those plans should contain. But we need to know, we need to have information from our community of what they should contain as well. So.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. And Deborah, do you want to describe?
Yeah, I did something similar. I did a query in AI. And I asked it to look at similar sized towns that had sustainability and that were tourism-based economy. And we chatted for a bit and I ended up, and that's what's at the bottom of the packet. And it doesn't look great because I had it out, excuse me, I had it outputted into a spreadsheet. So I had Sandpoint included, right? And then Nelson, BC, Whitefish, Sun Valley, just because it was different, and then Truckee, California. That takes us out of kind of our normal view. It wanted to stick Park City in, but I felt that that was just too kind of rich for us, and I do mean that in a number of different ways.
Sun Valley.
Sun Valley is too, but it's in Idaho, so that's why I stuck with it. But, so, and then it did, so it pointed out the sustainability work that's there, the similarities to Sandpoint and the differences to Sandpoint. And then the challenges and strengths that each town had in comparison to us. And then, it also had key takeaways. So that's what's in. I did not look at any plan either. Because I think I'm happy to look at a plan. But I'd like us to narrow down to 2 or 3 cities. I can't look at 7 or 8. So what we feel cities would best represent us, or maybe even take us a little bit beyond where we're at, and then go look at their plans. And kind of see what they cover, not even the framework, but what are the key areas that they focused on for similar size plan. And I told it, we're a mountain community, but we have a lake. So I, you know, I kind of constrained, but it.
I definitely think Whitefish
Yeah.
out of that list, just because we are similar in size, we're similar in geographic area, we're similar in tourism, but they have the ski resort and the lake as well.
Right.
And it's also in Montana, like where Nelson is similar too, but that's in Canada, so they
So
have
that's right,
different.
yeah, exactly.
Right. And my thought was like even like thinking like politically, like Montana would be a little bit closer than Nelson or California in terms of that, of like what we're working with. Kind of what I was thinking there.
So is Whitefish a good one? Like we.
I think Whitefish is a good one. Yeah, and I intentionally left out California and Nelson for that reason as well. Because I think we have to consider more the constituency of our town.
Sorry.
Well, like it
I thought this was
recommended
an hour, not an
working.
hour and a half. Be here next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're still
Thank
not.
you.
Yeah. I want
What would a next step be? That we can,
I
somebody
think-
could work on between now and our October meeting?
Well, I think we pick a couple of towns, like I'm willing to look at one town's plan. And then maybe we pick another town that we want to take a look at in detail.
I already have Whitefish's plan, so I can read it.
Okay, all right, well, there's our volunteer for Whitefish.
I'm kind of thinking that we should pick like 2 or 3 and we all look at them. And
Okay.
then we come prepared for the next meeting to pick,
How do we find the plans? Because I was looking, I just really found some summary stuff, but I wasn't finding.
I can take on finding.
Find the plans.
Yeah, I think I went, and
Can we post these on the repository?
yeah,
Like if we have a link, if people find the link to the plan?
If we share emails. Share it that way too.
Is she
No,
saying that?
Mandy's the only one that can post to the repository.
Yeah, I mean, not we,
Can
but
we make a request for that? Make a request, she approves and then posts it? Okay, so we have a couple of different ways of doing that. It'd be great if we had it on the repository.
What happened previously with the committee is if somebody had something that they wanted to share with everybody, you send it my way, I look it over just to make part of me being the staff liaison. And then I give it to Mandy, she posts it, and then generally she would send out like a blind CC to everyone stating, hey, FYI, this was posted on the repository for
Perfect.
generally how we do it.
That'd be great. So if we can have access to Whitefish, what other two maybe? That have posted plans. Which, Haley?
said partial.
Yeah.
They don't have a complete.
It might be nice, just.
Does McCall have one?
They are supposed to be adopting one this fall. So I don't know what they have. I don't know what they have posted.
what about Moscow?
They do have one. They have a climate action plan. It's adopted on October.
I mean, I actually just looked that up. Boston's
did.
population is actually a bit less than this.
Is it really?
Wow.
It's just because they have all the college students, but they're not actually. So they do have a lot of people.
Yeah,
But
well,
they're not.
I think the scope, I mean, that's what we have to figure out.
Well, maybe we look at one, we see what a climate action plan looks like compared to a sustainability.
Yeah,
So that might not be a bad idea.
which would be Moscow.
You say
Right.
Moscow? Like it's
Moscow.
Okay.
Moscow, yeah.
So we have Moscow,
I used to say Moscow.
Whitefish,
Finally.
and Haley would have a partial plan. I think they have something.
They have a clean energy resolution and that's, I don't think they have
They have a
enough.
great. I'm just saying. I
Well,
don't-
maybe we
I
can,
haven't
once
looked
we,
there.
once we get a framework, maybe we can go in there for details. McCall, I don't know if what they have posted, because they haven't adopted anything. I mean, we can put it down.
They might have a draft plan posted.
Yeah, they might. Shall we say McCall, Moscow, and Whitefish? Everybody gets a link from the committee to go look at those. And we try, each of us, to come prepared to categorize, like, how would we present these areas to the public?
Are you talking kind of focusing on energy use, water use, air, housing? Things-
Whatever they have,
The things that
Mhm.
you've listed under the.
Yeah.
that the mayor says,
Maybe
but
pick
maybe we look at these and we say, there's another way to do this. So.
And-
Okay, so
And I would say when we read that, we think about, okay, how would we organize a public meeting in January?
yes,
Because at that point, we'll have 2 months.
right. So we're gonna come prepared with, in our minds, extracting categories from these plans or framework from these plans as best as we can do. We'll put our heads together and see what we can do with that as a more kind of abstract task. And then we also come prepared with the idea of how best can we go to the public in January?
And would we also be able to identify potential meeting dates in January?
Oh, yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and
And would we do that here or could it be held somewhere like the library? That's like less,
meeting.
it's a public meeting that has to be here.
Yeah, I think it should be here.
in
Okay.
council chambers.
Okay.
All right. And kind of like format, how do we present, just in our minds, how do we present these options or this framework, or somehow, how do we structure?
I would say it, like Michaela said, a survey.
Start with a survey
Perfect.
before January. Or a survey
When-
during,
Assuming anybody.
during the meeting, a survey during the meeting. Well, we can talk about this next time. We still have a couple of things to do, and we haven't got to the round table yet.
One more thing to add to that too, of information that we'll need is whether we will have any staff support, city support for a January public meeting, or if we're doing everything, including running the meeting.
Right.
And whatever, like, can we get copies? I mean, are we completely on our own or? Like, if we want
I'm
copies?
confused. Are you guys wanting to hold a special meeting in January?
A public meeting.
Yes.
All of the meetings are public meetings.
Well, invite the
Well,
public
They're,
extra. I mean, this is a meeting on a sustainability plan. Come and
Yeah.
look at what we have to offer, what we're thinking about, tell us what you're thinking about, the same way that it has been done with, I don't know, the curve.
So you guys would, I think it would be okay. We'd have to talk with Melissa. It would have to be noticed 3 weeks in advance,
Right.
which would actually end up being a month in advance because it can't be noticed the same day the meeting is held. And the notices only go out on Tuesdays. So you guys would have to have everything hypothetically prepared. Give me 1 second. So fourth Tuesday in January is. Sorry, my calendar freaked out. Is the 27th, 2013. 6. You're gonna be hard pressed.
But what if we did an evening meeting?
It's regardless, if it's on Tuesday. So. You would still need staff to be here to host them, help you host the meeting. You
Okay,
can't just. Have the meeting.
that's what we want to know.
That's
is-
what we're asking is what support are we?
To my knowledge, you can't do that. Because you're part of like it's city
If it was
not sponsored, but sort of.
So are you thinking we'd have to do it during this meeting time?
During our January meeting,
I mean, potentially, unless you're wanting to hold it at a different time.
have a little dog and pony. I mean, that's what we're thinking.
Gonna
So
get-
you're wanting a special meeting in January then?
Yeah.
I guess so. I mean, we didn't think of it that way, but yes.
Okay, so you're wanting an additional meeting in January. Yeah, definitely could talk to Melissa. I am not sure how that would work, but you have to notice it roughly a month ahead of time.
Okay, so I'll work on that with you before the October meeting
Mhm.
and we'll bring what we
Bring it
know.
up in October to,
Yeah, it'll
discuss
be an
further.
agenda item and we'll see what we need to do.
Okay.
And then in October, we also wanted have us come with pre-planning before that meeting. What do we need to accomplish? And then what are our goals after that?
Mhm.
Once we've kind of looked at these other plans. Okay, and I just, are we good with that right now on where we are with, the reports from, Deborah and Mary, and also what's gonna happen with next steps in the sustainability plan? I just wanted to very quickly report on our second goal, which is try to advocate for a city sustainability position. And I had a meeting with Jason on September 5th. And I tell you, I'm very encouraged because he said that, for example, we have Rachel McKinney, who has just been hired as a city projects person. And she has a background in water quality where she worked for a community on best practices. And so she's knowledgeable. Bill Dean, who was here last time, the city planner, talking about altering requirements for proposals to the city for development, housing, has been using what he heard at this committee in his planning. Jason told me that. And Jason himself says he's an ally because he's an economist and he's taught environmental economics. So I thought that was really encouraging.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. And which doesn't mean we can't keep advocating for hiring more people in, more dedicated sustainability positions, but I think we're in good, kind of in good shape.
Well, we have knowledge in this,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I'm just really delighted with how much knowledge there is here on the committee. It's very, I think it's very impressive. So the next thing is, the roundtable. And I'll just preface the roundtable. We have about 15 minutes. I'll just preface this by saying, if you haven't seen the video of the city council meeting, particularly of the one last week, I would really recommend that you go to minute 1 hour and 38 minutes, 1 hour and 38 minutes, where they discuss the future of committees. Pardon?
About the meeting.
And the meeting before, I don't have those minutes, but there was a discussion there as well. And so there's a lot of discussion about what's going okay, what's not going okay, what needs to be changed. And there are some concrete thoughts on how to best utilize the committees. And there are committees that have subcommittees, and that's run into some controversy. We, of course, don't have subcommittees because we're so few. It's just going to be basically us volunteering to do things. But we are expected, according to this most recent meeting, to come up with some proposals for January 1st, and we're to receive proposals or to receive directives for what to work on in the coming year. So we are generating our own work, but we are going to be receiving directives from city council about what to work on. So that's coming up. So go ahead and watch that and kind of get the gist of what's going on. But roundtable is going to be a really important part of the meeting where we freely discuss our ideas. Everyone brings ideas. We record them here in our conversation and they go forward from here. So the whole idea is that it comes up from committee members to eventually city council. And a lot of that activity happens in roundtable. It's the last part of it. So we're in roundtable.
I have a question. Or- Okay, so if we're going to be given directives and we're being asked to come up with a proposal for January 1st, is there a 2026 strategy document of the city's strategic goals so that we can make sure that whatever goals we have for our committee are aligned with those strategic goals?
Strategic goals are online.
Okay, so I think that would be an important part of our proposal, is to look at those goals and make sure that we're in alignment with those goals. One or more of those goals.
That's great. That's really good.
And
I
that
also would,
that when we present, we show how we're in alignment.
Very good. Yeah.
in the repository quite a while ago, I think I put the meetings from the original sustainability committee
yeah.
meeting. That was a long time ago. I was hoping people might look at, see what ideas they had already started. You want to incorporate, because a lot of work was begun. Do that. That's something that could be put on the agenda next meeting.
To
do that.
look,
So at the round table, we suggest something for next meeting's agenda, is what I understood.
yes, that's right. yes, we can suggest agenda items at the roundtable.
Just have us make sure everybody has looked at those and see what ideas you like that were started. Because I
Now-
think they did have a greenhouse. Yes, I can't remember anymore, but I told you that I thought were really good. Started.
Related to a greenhouse gas in one of these goals, these 4 goals, is engage one or more university programs to partner with the city on sustainability. And that would be try to figure out which regional universities would have graduate level programs, for example, that we could partner with and try to get some help, maybe cost-free help from grad students. And I think we may be able to make some progress there, because in my conversation with Jason Welker, he mentioned the head of the University of Idaho. Oh, this guy is so impressive. He's the environmental program. He's like the overall arching environmental programs head. He's stationed in Boise. He may have the program that's running in McCall. But I have his name and I have his contact information. And I think I'm just gonna call the guy and see if there's something we can work on with them. Or if he has another university or another program that he could suggest. So that seems like that could move ahead. And on another goal, the low hanging fruit projects, the kinds of projects that will be that we can do, and that would be not controversial, that we could have 1 or more done by June, that type of thing. Mary mentioned last week the possibility of, in my memory, planting trees. Am I right on that, Mary? Have a project that would be getting either planting or sustaining the trees that are already here in the city?
Well, I was actually thinking more bigger than that and really coming up with a program for planting in our meridians and things like that. But that's a really big project. What I was envisioning is something, and I think that I mean, I see that if we're going down this path of doing a sustainability plan, I think I would table that. I see that. I don't see doing 2 of those things at once.
But mentioning that in the sustainability.
Right. It could be an implementation item that's actually part of the sustainability plan. And you could have a university, I mean, we could come up with, that's like a sub plan, really.
I
Yeah.
wonder if there's a piece of that could be a low hanging. Well, maybe what we should do is look in the past minutes of sustainability committee and see if we can identify low hanging. We make that an agenda item for next time.
Because it would connect what they had started and what could be more simple task.
Right.
With.
Right.
Yeah, I want to make sure that, I mean, I have a concern that we not start spreading ourselves in multiple directions, because I feel kind of like we have done that the last year.
Yeah, that's true. But I also would like to get very concrete and public with some product. Well, Pam has the recycling product around town. Maybe we can come up with something that would be you know, 2 Saturdays, or I don't know, something that's kind of visible. And non-controversial that to pull off in the name of the Sustainability Committee.
I had mentioned before, Jeremy was battery, cycling batteries.
Hmm.
And I got the little boxes from Staples, a stack of little boxes. You put your batteries in, because I look at the payables, see batteries as city. And I'm just thinking, recycling them. Like a drop off or something, maybe, I don't know, it's just something I've thrown out there. And you can take your batteries in these boxes to Staples and they recycle.
Oh, gosh.
So I have the boxes, it's just something I haven't pursued further to see if we wanted to do it or if I was just gonna.
Yeah. They recycle batteries and electronics.
They have these little boxes that you can put your batteries in, take them there.
It's great to let people know.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
that's interesting.
and then, you know, maybe we can
Information.
get it in, you know, that information into the reader or something. Because I feel like a lot of people don't even know about the recycling, and then even the recycling at the city dump, you can't take certain things. Yeah, there's like one day a month that they take things, and I have this stack of stuff that I don't know what to do or where to take it, so. That's
Oh, that'd be great. And maybe we can put our name on some kind of an initiative like that. And yeah,
There you go.
so let's put that on the agenda
And so Mary, those things
under low hanging fruit.
are pretty simplified. They wouldn't send us off into these big project areas, really. It's pretty easy to.
Yeah.
What-
and we
What
can figure out
about, one more idea before we have to end. What about, talking to the reader and the bee and seeing if we could get them to commit to giving us, one article a month on sustainability. And in each article, we focus on one sustainability action.
Oh, I like that. And also the little co-op paper.
Yeah, that we just, you know, if we can get, like, those are kind of the three big papers that we have. And, you know, we could put out a press release once a month, and at the next meeting, we come up with the topics. And, you know, we give the contact information for somebody on our committee for each, whatever the topic is. So, you know, if the paper wants to do more than the press release, if they want to interview somebody, a member of our committee for more follow-up information. But that way we put the committee activity out there in the public and we give people an action item.
That's great. Excellent.
I
Great.
think that might be one of the things they did start to.
I know there were a few. How can we make ourselves known?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we could do a calendar at the next meeting where we just sketch out what the topics will be.
Yeah. All
I
right,
can contact the reader. I don't mean,
Why don't we wait?
oh, we're gonna wait.
let's
Let's get it organized.
Okay. Okay.
all right. I think we're at 4.
Yeah.
With no further business on the agenda, this meeting, do I need you have to vote to adjourn? This meeting is now adjourned at 4 p.m.
Thank you.
Need a gavel.
Okay.
Bye, Eddie.
Bye, Mary. Have a fun time.
Thank you.
Thank you.